All right, let's get right into this. We need to stop thinking about AI as just a tool we use. We're talking about actually hiring it. I want you to imagine a digital employee that works for you 24/7. It remembers everything you tell it, and it doesn't just do tasks, it actually ships finished work while you're asleep. That's the huge radical idea we're exploring here.
And let's get one thing straight right off the bat. This is not another AI 101 tutorial on how to ask a chatbot for some blog post ideas. No, the promise here is way, way bigger. This is about giving you the kind of leverage that lets you operate like a much larger company, even if you're just a team of one. It's all about autonomy and, real tangible productivity.
So what exactly is this thing? Well, first, a quick heads up. The name Clawdbot has officially been changed to Moltbot, I'm guessing to avoid any mix-ups with Anthropic's Claude. But honestly, whatever you want to call it, the concept is the same. It's a framework for an AI agent that acts as your personal 24/7 digital operator, constantly working in the background to improve and scale your business.
The absolute key difference here, the thing that changes everything, is memory. See, unlike a normal chatbot that forgets the whole conversation the second you close the tab, this agent has a persistent memory that's always improving. Every single thing you tell it, every goal you share, it all becomes part of its core context for all the work it does from now on. It literally learns you and your business.
Okay, so that all sounds pretty great in theory, right? But what does it actually look like in the real world? This is where it gets really, really cool. Let's dig into a real-world example of what this kind of proactive AI can pull off, completely by itself overnight.
To make this concrete, I want you to meet Henry. That's the name the creator, Alex Finn, gave to his personal AI agent. And, treating it like an employee, giving it a name, that's part of a really crucial mindset shift. Henry isn't just some program, he's a member of the team. Okay, you have to hear this. While Alex was asleep, Henry was just, monitoring social media. It noticed all this buzz around Elon Musk's new push for long-form articles on X. And because it knew this was relevant to Alex's business, a software app for X creators, Henry just autonomously wrote the code for a brand new article writing feature. And here's the really brilliant part, the safety aspect. It didn't just push the code live, it submitted it for approval, what developers call a pull request. So it was waiting for a human to review it in the morning. Incredible.
So think about what just happened there. Of course, a human developer could have done this, but it would have taken hours of research, planning, coding, the whole deal. Henry did it proactively, for free, while everyone was asleep. It didn't just save a ton of time. It jumped on a timely market trend that a busy solo founder might have totally missed. That is just insane leverage.
All right, at this point, you're probably thinking, this sounds a little bit like magic, or maybe it's just hype. But it's not. This level of autonomous work doesn't happen by accident. It's the direct result of a very specific, very intentional setup process. So let's pull back the curtain and see how it actually works.
The fundamental change is moving from a reactive relationship with AI to a proactive one. The old way is like being a micromanager. You give a command, you get a response, you give another command. The Clawdbot way is like hiring a great employee. You set the broad expectations, and then you trust them with the autonomy to take initiative.
So this proactive relationship is built on 3 pillars. First, context. You have to just dump everything in there. Your business model, your goals, your hobbies, links to your videos, your articles. Its memory is its power. Second, you have to set the expectation for it to be proactive with a specific kind of prompt. And third, and I love this part, you interview it. Instead of just telling it what to do, you ask, hey, based on everything you know about me, what can you do to help? That's how you uncover what it's truly capable of.
And here it is. This is the kind of prompt that unlocks everything. It's not a command, it's a mission statement. You're giving it permission to be proactive, to monitor things, and to build stuff without you having to ask. You're basically saying, you're hired, go do great work. This is the key that turns the engine on.
Okay, so what if you're sold on the concept? How do you actually get started with this? Let's get into the practical side of things, starting with the hardware, and maybe more importantly, getting into the right mindset when it comes to the cost.
So you've got a few options here. You could use cloud hosting, which is probably the fastest and cheapest way to just dip your toes in the water, but it can get pretty technical pretty fast. For most people, the recommended path is actually to get a dedicated local machine, something like a Mac Mini. This gives you total control. You can literally see what the agent is doing. And honestly, it's a fantastic way to learn how this tech really works under the hood.
Now, when you see a price tag like $600 for a Mac Mini, it's easy to get some sticker shock. A lot of people compare that to an expense, like a Netflix subscription, but that is completely the wrong frame. This isn't a media subscription we're talking about. It's a capital investment. You have to compare the cost not to your entertainment budget, but to the cost of the thing it's replacing or helping.
I mean, think about it. A junior software developer could easily cost you upwards of $10,000 a month. A month! When you frame that one-time cost of $600 against a recurring five-figure salary, well, the whole perspective just flips, doesn't it? You're not buying a tool, you're investing in a ridiculously cost-effective employee. Now, this is powerful, cutting-edge stuff, which means we absolutely have to talk about the risks. This technology is brand new, and using it responsibly is every bit as important as using it effectively. So let's go over some safety rules, and then we'll look at where this is all going.
Okay, let's be smart about this. Start by giving the agent access only to things it absolutely needs to know. You're not going to hand over the keys to your main Twitter account or your bank account, right? Create a separate, dedicated email address just for it. And be aware of something called prompt injection. That's where a sneaky email could trick your bot into doing something you don't want it to. The best way to go is to start small, with a limited scope, and slowly build that trust over time.
And look, this is just the very beginning. The real future here isn't one single all-powerful AI agent. No, it's a team of specialized agents all running locally on your machine, working together. Imagine one agent that just watches for new video files. It hands them off to an audio agent for transcription. That agent passes it to a writer agent for summaries, which then sends it to a vision agent to create a cool thumbnail. Entire complex workflows completely automated by a team of AIs that you've hired.
So we have to end on this question. The barrier to getting things then is just dissolving before our eyes. The old excuse of, I don't have enough time or I don't have enough help, that's becoming less and less true. The real question is no longer, can you build it? But what will you build now that you have a tireless, proactive partner that's ready to work? The possibilities, they're just staggering.